Welcome everyone to this random special video I'm gonna upload on the channel. And I'm not gonna do anything special to the video. I'm just gonna kind of go through what I want to say here and take a small break from work because I've been listening to some of the podcasters, mostly just BC Amplified and JD from New York 206. And I'm pretty certain that there's been other channels that say the exact same thing as these two guys say. So I'm just going to cut right to the chase. A lot of what is discussed on the wrestling shows, as I mentioned last night even, for the Raw review, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, going on these shows. I can understand. Put yourself in a creator's shoes. Put them in their shoes. Don't you think maybe eventually at some point they kind of get dragged out, tired out? Look at how much fucking programming they have to produce. I think it's way too much work. I think it's way too much pressure to put these people under. And I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon is fucking stuck on ideas, and you can clearly see that watching the shows. So I mean, at the end of the day, when you really think about it, and I mentioned this on my Raw review last night, you got a guy like Ricochet, just use him for example. The guy has no storyline going on for him. Okay, great. They supposedly got him teamed with Cedric Alexander. Okay, in my opinion, they make a good tag team. I think they would. You got a tag team division that has no tag teams to build off of. Now, granted, I'll give them credit where credit is due. They do have Andrade and Angel Garza, but they don't come together as a team. They act as individuals. They are not working as a team. They look like they're on the verge of exploding within their own faction. So that, to me, ain't no tag team at all. You got a tag team division that absolutely sucks, okay? You got Cedric Alexander. Why not put them in tag team matches for like 20 minutes with a good tag team like fucking Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins? That could have been a good matchup last night. Something we haven't seen. That's another thing. We are seeing repetitive things done over and over and over again. Why can't we see something different? That would have been something different to watch. Give us like 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes. You could have cut that promo that Seth Rollins cut and then had the match with Cedric Alexander and Ricochet versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy could have took a loss, and you had Cedric Alexander or Ricochet pick up the victory to build their team and maybe eventually be pushed into a tag team title match. So I honestly don't understand what is so difficult. You got so much talent on this roster. If you are cramped with ideas, can't think of anything new or fresh or different, give us a good wrestling show. That's what the basis of this company is. It's called wrestling. Give us wrestling. If you can't come up with something new, give us wrestling. Don't give us replays of something that happened last month, like Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman from Money in the Bank or something. Give us a fucking wrestling match that takes 20 to 30 minutes if you can. I don't understand what is so difficult. I am starting to trend more towards UFC than I am of watching anything wrestling related outside of AEW, because AEW is the template that is what wrestling should be like. Now, granted, their ratings are not exactly the best. They're nowhere near a 1 million of viewership, but they are brand new. They've just came into existence on October of 2019. That ain't even a year, and they almost got 1 million. I think that is a pretty fucking good deal, and they've maintained that. And everything has went downhill because of this pandemic. But they are still trying to produce something noteworthy for people to be interested in watching. You also have to take into account, people are talking about the ratings dropping. Maybe people don't want to sit through fucking commercials and 2 hours of bullshit when they could just watch it in an hour and 30 minutes instead of 2 hours. I mean, has anybody came across that in their head? Like I said last night, I went ahead and started watching Monday Night Raw at 9 o'clock. Their old start time back in the day when they were still fucking good. Okay? And I skipped through the fucking commercials. People don't want to sit through the fucking commercials. They don't care about the fucking commercials. They're there to watch the fucking show and see how it unfolds. Now, granted, in most cases, it unfolds like a pile of shit, but at the end of the day, they're still having the opportunity to watch what they want without having to sit through 3 fucking hours of Monday Night Raw, 2 hours of NXT, 2 hours of AEW in the same fucking night. That's a 4-hour event, basically. Combine the two together, you get 4 hours of wrestling. And then you got another 2 hours of wrestling on the end of the week. And if you watch other programs like Impact Wrestling, if they have a Ring of Honor show, whatever, it's an overflow of fucking wrestling out the ass. If you can't find something to watch on professional wrestling, then you're just not a fan. Period. That's all there is to it. But at the end of the day, it is just ridiculous how they got so much talent on WWE, and this is more per se WWE than AEW. I just don't understand how they even have over 1 million viewers. I really don't. I don't understand why people aren't streaming this, DVRing it, whatever you want to say, to be able to skip through all the bullshit you don't want to watch. I mean, seriously. This is just a fucking waste of everybody's time. There's storylines that make no sense. Matches that are outrageous. Fucking eye gouging. What is this? Street fighting? A horror movie? If I want to see a horror movie, I'll go see a John Carpenter movie or something, or a Stephen King. I'm not here for Stephen King. Is Stephen King writing these scripts? No. We got Vincent Mann, the ignoramus, the dumbass who can't fucking think straight and can't remember what shoe he put on last, or whatever. You know, I just don't get the point behind why we are getting such a crappy show outside of Vincent Mann is a fucking dumbass. You got a problem trying to figure out new ideas. I get it. I sometimes run into that issue. I get that. But you got a wrestling show. It is right under your fucking nose. In front of your face. It's written on the fucking wall, Vince. Give us wrestling matches. That will help your show flourish and have people be happy, and be entertained. Isn't that what you're all about? Entertaining the viewer? I remember back in the day when I was a kid. I was like 14, 15 years old. This was the 10th year anniversary of Monday Night Raw. We have Edge come on there, and he's talking about, and other wrestlers as well during this 10th anniversary back in 2003, talking about how if it wasn't for us, they couldn't do what they're doing. Now, they come on social media platforms saying, we don't know what we're talking about. Don't like it, deal with it, or don't watch us. That is the mentality WWE has developed. I don't understand that. I don't know why anyone would say that to their own public, their own viewers, their own fans. There was one thing I remember watching the Monday Night Wars show. They had that weekly episodes of WCW and WWE. And they stated the number one thing, once you lose your fans, you may never get them back. When you insult their intelligence, you won't get them back. WCW is doing that. Now WWE is following in the same exact footsteps, yet there's nobody to compete with them. Except for maybe AEW, and honestly, I think AEW is the best product going today. They just need some time to build their audience. And that's all. And once they build that audience, they're going to succeed. It takes time. Triple H even said this. He was asked about the ratings and about how WWE NXT is losing to AEW week after week. He says, this is not, he said, he's doing it in a pace. He's not worrying about week after week trying to beat AEW. He's just worrying about what he has to do to help build this company and build this brand into a successful brand. And I agree with that. But at the same time, you have him counteracting AEW with Great American Bash to Fyter Fest at the last minute. So he kind of contradicted himself, but he has the right idea. You want to build your product slowly. It's not a fucking sprint. It's a triathlon. It's a long process that you have to see progress week after week in small doses. It doesn't have to be in one clear jump in ratings, because quite frankly, that is not going to happen. And if it does, you're looking at a major drop later on, because if you're not providing that one-time only viewer with something really great, which you're not going to be able to do week after week, people have to be understanding about that. But if you provide something that is, credible, entertaining, and makes sense, and gets you still interested in supporting them, then yeah. But, honestly, let's get real. I honestly think that ratings really don't matter. I think Vince McMahon is right about that in a certain extent, because you have DVR capabilities with a lot of people, especially myself. I've done a lot of DVR. I haven't watched any Raw or SmackDown shows live at all in the times I have watched them. And I do apologize about not uploading videos about it. But I got a fucking life too. I'm not going to sit here and talk about some bullshit show that more than likely sucked ass 99.9% of the time, and sit here and rant and rave about the same old shit. It's fucking stupid. But what I'm trying to get at is ratings are dropping because probably people are tuning in with DVR use. That's what I'm doing. The shows are boring because they're doing the same fucking matches over and over and over again. They have tons of superstars that are at the Performance Center, and majority of them are not being used. So, to me, you're wasting the wrestlers' time being at the Performance Center instead of being at home with their family so that they can be with their loved ones and not dedicate their time to a wasted out product that they're going nowhere with. They're not being utilized in any way, shape, or form. And yet, you want to tell me that this is, this is a good thing what they're doing? You want to come up with excuses for why the show sucks? It's real simple. If you are blocked on ideas, you have nothing new or fresh, just fucking go ahead and produce wrestling matches with people you haven't used. And here's another thing. If you're not using a guy week after week, imagine the kind of matches you can have with them doing really tough, hardcore shit. Not like hardcore wrestling, but I mean like stiff wrestling, and giving them some time off, a week or two. And then bring them back for another good matchup that people can get entertained by. And make those wins and losses actually count on the show. So eventually you can say, hey, this pay-per-view, this guy who's been winning week after week, or week every couple of times he's on the show, he's winning, he's on a winning streak. Let's give him a title match, and he issues a challenge to a world champion of some sort, U.S. champion, IC champion, WWE Universal Champion. They have a legit reason to be challenging for the title. Instead of like a guy like Dolph Ziggler getting a title opportunity who hasn't done a fucking dick of shit on Raw or SmackDown, and on SmackDown before he came to Raw was on a losing streak out of his ass. I mean, how do you get a WWE Championship match and on top of it be able to pick the stipulation for the Extreme Rules match? I have no idea. I really don't. So, go figure that one out, guys. I gotta get back to work. But anyway, I just wanted to throw this video at you guys and tell you guys my thoughts on the ratings, the whole... You know, I can understand people being stumped on ideas. I mean, I think it happens to everyone. But if you're stumped on ideas, give us something that's entertaining. Give us a match that'll entertain us. Let those guys go out there that aren't being utilized a lot and let them do their thing. I mean, shit, it's not that fucking hard. They make it like it's difficult. And quite frankly, I don't think it's that difficult. I think they just don't care about us. And I think us sitting here talking about it is such a waste of time. I just find it entertaining to talk shit about WWE unless they do something positive, and then I'll you know, give them the props for doing the right thing. But otherwise, I don't have a problem watching it because I know what I'm expecting. Garbage. And I just like talking about it just to get it off my chest. It's like a way of stress, you know, letting off stress and blowing off steam at this point. But anyway, guys, I thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below and I'll definitely get back on that. And I thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye.